Alright, so this is the front axle. It's a Dana 60 off of a 2000 Ford F350 dually. Has 410 gears. And you can check this number right here. It says 248. And then so you can check it, see if it's Dana 60. Other one have a different number. And then you can check this. There's a code right there on the diff cover. There's a little number right here. And it's a BOM number. You can run that. And I'll tell you if it's Dana 60 before you buy it. And in the rear we're putting on Sterling 10.5 inch. I know it looks pretty rusty, but it's really not. It's a lot of red dust. Wire wheel that off and it'll come right off. Alright, so this is the Dana 60 1-ton swap for the Jeep JK 2-door. And today we're going to cut off these brackets right here. Cut the welds right here. Try to hit them off with the hammer. Do the same thing on the lower one. We're going to have to trim this right here on the cast. Cut it pretty good, no scarring on the tube. I'll just grind that down a little bit. Go ahead and take off the steering linkage, which is that bolt right there on the top left, and that bolt right there. This little cotter pin in there, you just pull it out. Pulled mine out by hand. So let's go get the impact. Go ahead and spray some seafoam on there. Works pretty good. My favorite. 21 millimeter. It's pretty good. Alright, so we found our ball joint remover tool. Looks like this. Boom, it's done just like that. Back to the grind. Alright, so we had to get the torch. The only reason why I'm not cutting everything off with the torch is because you usually have to clean up more with the grinder. So I figure I can just grind them, knock them off with the hammer, and it'll be less work. But right here, my grinder is hitting this bracket right here. So we're going to cut this off the torch. Hopefully we can get in there, grind that weld down. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, that's what we got to do. Let's get to it. We got to do this the old boy way. The good old matches. That didn't work. Boom! And we're going to cut this one later, but this is going to get trimmed right in there, I think 2 inches from here. So we're going to start trimming these off. Alright, we're going to take the brake calipers off and all these wires, cables, and all that good stuff. It's an 18 millimeter. Alright, and we're going to take that brake line off right there. And that is a 7/16 open wrench. Ten millimeter. Now that we're going to cut those off, we're going to take these completely off. It's a 13 millimeter right here. where all those brake lines hook up at. So we're taking this breather hose off right here. Already loosened it. It's a 9/16. Whole thing's got a spin, I think. Don't know that for sure. Put that off. And don't take it off of this bracket first. It on the other one and it broke it. So I'll take it off from this end and then slide it back. You should be good. Next, we're going to remove these brackets right here. Same on the other side. I don't even think they're welded on. I think it just held on. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut this bracket off. There's a weld right here. One on the other side, same spot. There, little too deep, but not really worried about it. Go ahead and take this one off. Alright, so already started on it, but we're trimming the casting. And I found the best way I've found so far to do it. Tried cutting it straight across from here. That wasn't working out. But I went over here and I started cutting at angles like that. And one straight across. And just hitting it with the chisel and a hammer. See if we can finish it. And to get this line right here, I marked 2 inches from this edge over. And just went around it and marked it with the soapstone. Just drew straight lines across it with a square or with a pipe wrap. Whatever works, whatever you got. Alright, took that steering stabilizer off. And I'm using a bandsaw. The way I check to see how deep I'm going to go, put the blade right here. You can barely feel it, so I know not to go below the blade. came off pretty good. I think the very beginning was the hardest, just trying to figure out how to get it to come off. Right now, I'm just welding the cut marks that went into the axle, and I'm just gonna end up grinding them down afterwards. Alright, so far I'd say I've got about 5-6 hours into stripping off the brackets, trimming the cast over on that front axle on the Dana 60. A lot of the dust, whenever I first started, you guys saw how it was, and that has to get off. Still got some, like right there. But to get the rest of that stuff off, I'm just gonna use a little brush like that, so the wire wheel can't get in there, and just freaking give it all you got. And that's how I'm gonna get that off, and then I'm gonna put this stuff on it. Where's it at? It's called Osfo, but wipe the whole thing down with that, and still haven't figured out what kind of paint I'm gonna end up painting it with. But I'm going to paint it before I put the trusses on. I got one in the mail, still waiting on the rear, and that's the one I want to start on. So I'm not going to start doing that until I get the rear one. I bought them at the same time. That one came last week, and that was for the front. So I don't know what's going on with that. But the Artec trusses, and yep, we'll see how it goes. And the reason I never pulled the gears out is because I'm not going to deal with that. And if I do, I'm gonna have a friend help me because it's gonna have to get re-geared, and we'll figure that out then. But I didn't want to have gears and all that stuff laying everywhere. My garage is already a mess, got stuff everywhere. And yeah, that's it. And I already got ball joint replacement, U-joint replacement for the front axle. So we're gonna end up doing that. Still not sure if I'm gonna end up buying knuckles for the high steer, just because how expensive they are. I might just run those, see what it's like, see how it drives, before I go ahead and buy the high steer knuckles. But yep, that's the end of the first video.